Shalom, Barakat Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Hakodash, the bonds of the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting that good fight of faith. Lord willing, we are found that number to be delivered. All right? So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to play an oldie but goodie. And as you see on the heading here, a historical interview with Aaron Russo. Now, we know Aaron Russo was chumming around with Nick Rockefeller, and Nick Rockefeller divulged some information to him that we believe ultimately probably got him deleted. All right? But all that being said, the interview's on point, man. You know, and right along what we've been prophesying about concerning the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, you know, concerning the MOTB, goes right hand in hand with this. And a lot of you Israelites out there, again, you're not going to believe until it's too late. And then you're going to know. All right? And I'm going to say this is going to be fair use. And it's the spirit, because, you know, now brothers are being able to, you know, reestablish those old deleted channels. All right, but that's all through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because now that these channels are going to be re-uploaded, there's just that much more videos are going to be pushed out. So the word is going out, man. It's going out. And at the end of the day, you know, all praise is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for, you know, creating this platform for his word to be pushed out the four corners of the earth. All right? So without further ado, let me play this video. I'm going to play a good portion of it. But again, it's always a good listen. And some of the things that, you know, Aaron Russo says, you know, goes right along with what we've been prophesying about. So here's the video.
You rolling? I'm honored to be interviewed by Alex Jones, a truth seeker, fighting for justice in America.
Alex charming me. It's getting me all smiling.
So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is getting me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what you sell.
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips, and they control people, and you become a slave. You become a serf to these people. That's their goal. That's their intentions.
Eric, can you be specific about when you met Rockefeller, how it happened in these discussions?
I met Rockefeller through a female attorney I knew who called me up one day and said, one of the Rockefellers would like to meet you. I had made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him, and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man. And we used to talk and share ideas and thoughts. And he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened, that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event, and out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we go after Chavez in Venezuela. And sure enough, later, 9/11 happened. And I remember he was telling me how how you're going to see soldiers looking in caves for people in Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these places. And there's going to be this war on terror, of which there's no real enemy. And the whole thing is a giant hoax, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no question. He says, there's going to be war on terror. And he's just laughing. There's no... Who are we fighting? I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11, who were able to, can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous. 9/11 was done by people in our own government and our own banking system to perpetuate the fear of the American people into subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do. That's what it's about, and to create this war, this endless war on terror. And that's why and that was the first lie. And the next lie was going into Iraq, to get Saddam Hussein out with his weapons of mass destruction. That was the next lie.
Now, specifically, this was a little over 6 years ago.
This was
11 months before 9/11.
Yeah.
And Nick Rockefeller, who's a lawyer, he's become your friend over the previous years, and he's saying to you that there's going to be this big event, and then out of that we're going to have a war on terror, and it's just going to go on and on.
Right. An endless war on terror without any real enemy. That you can never define a winner.
And did he say that it's going to be perfect because you can't define an enemy? It just goes on and on?
Yeah, because you can't define a winner. There's no one to beat, so it goes on and on forever. And they can do whatever they want. They scare the hell out of the American public. Look, this whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. It's very difficult to say it out loud because people are intimidated against saying it. Because if you say it, they want to make you into a nutcase. But the truth has to come out. That's why I'm doing this interview. The fact of the matter happens to be that the whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. There's a war going on in Iraq because we invaded Iraq. And people over there fighting, But the war on terror, it's a joke, And until we discover what really happened on 9/11 and who was responsible for 9/11, because that's where the war on terror emanates from. That's where it comes from. It was 9/11 that allowed this war on terror to begin. And until we get to the bottom root of 9/11, the truth of 9/11, we'll never know about the war on terror.
Aaron, you said that he was, and I think it's important, and I know this about the Rockefellers from Dr. Dennis Cuddy and many others who literally, you'll be 20 years old in a lunch line at college, and there's David Rockefeller. And they're experts at recruiting and getting what they call players, and that clearly he was, I want to make it specific and just get you to reiterate what you said last night about you got 30% of the vote, you were having an effect, you made mad as hell, they knew that you'd started the Constitution Party, they knew that you were somebody who was taking action and getting things done, you'd already made some big films, had a lot of other successes,
right. So
they were trying to recruit you, and didn't it come down to the point of, hey, we are here to recruit you, and don't worry, your chip's going to say, don't mess with us, this guy's don't touch.
Yeah, yes, that did happen. I was definitely being recruited, but it's more subtle than that.
Well, in your words, just go through the process, and then what he said to you.
Well, what it is remember, we were friends, and we used to go to my house a lot. We'd have dinner, we'd talk, and he'd tell me about business investments, how you get involved in, or they would help me with this business investment or that business investment. And was I interested in joining the Council on Foreign Relations? I would have to get a letter to join them, but was I interested in that? And, just stuff, leading you on. And I used to say to him that I never really did that because that wasn't where I was coming from. As much as I like you, Nick, your ways and my ways, we're on the opposite side of the fence. I don't believe in enslaving people, and
And he would come back with, "Oh, I do." Or,
Well, it would be more like,
it's better for them.
it's more like, how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. It was just a lack of caring, and that's just not who I was. It was just sort of like cold, it was just like cold, and I used to say to him, what's the point of all this? You have all the money in the world you need. You have all the power you need. What's the point? What's the end goal? And he said the end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society, to have the bankers, the elite people, the bankers and some governor controlling the world. And I said, all the people in the council.
All right. So it's a little bit, but there you have it. The end goal is to get everybody chipped. And this is what you people don't understand. This is prophecy in the making right now. These are the things that we have been telling you about from the head apostles on down. And now you see it more clearly because now it's being more and more, advertised throughout the world. All right. But he made mention of a few things about the banking system, the elites wanting to, control the people and control the masses. This isn't just something that was just, thought about overnight. This has been in the making for a very long time. So let me start with this, right? And I typed in, what's driving the banks to close? And it says, bank closures are driven by two main factors: the widespread closure of physical branches and the failure of financial institutions. The closure of branches is a cost-cutting measure prompted by the shift to digital banking, while bank failures are caused by severe financial issues, economic distress, and mismanagement. All right? But clearly, we understand what it means by when it says by shifting to digital banking. All right? And ultimately, what did what did Aaron Russo say? He said, you're not going to be able to buy anything. They can shut your chip off. All right? So in order for that to really take place, they have to eliminate the dollar bill. They have to eliminate the physical and the tangible dollar and change. They have to eliminate that. You see? Now, when this thing goes into full effect, and when all these stores are online, you can forget it. You may be able to go to these little mom and pop stores, but shit, they may be out of business by that time. So it's really coming, full circle right now. All right. So let me it says consolidation and branch closures, and here's some of the common reasons: rise of online banking, reduced overhead, merger of acquisitions, changing branch roles, bank failures, insolvency, poor risk management, liquidity crisis and bank runs. And a bank run, it says here, just to get the understanding of a bank run, it says here, runs occur when a large number of depositors withdraw their money at the same time. Now, we've already seen a run like that back in 2008, where people were going to the banks looking to retrieve their money out of these banks, and the majority of these banks were saying, "Hey, we don't have any more money." Now, if you brothers remember, right around 2008, people who were going to the Bank of America were getting arrested, who were trying to withdraw their money. All right? So this is going to bring some perilous times, man. The closure and the collapse of this dollar is going to bring some very perilous times. Because again, America is run off the financial structure. All right? And it says here, just going about what a bank run is, it says often fueled by loss of public confidence in the banks. If the bank does not have enough liquid assets to meet these withdrawal demands, it can fail. It can fail. Give me a second. Okay. It says the failures of Silicon Valley Bank and the First Republic Bank in 2023 were triggered by such bank runs. And again, the bank runs, everybody rushes to the bank and tries to withdraw their money at the same time. And you got to understand, banks only carry so much liquid cash, right? So if you're not in that first, 1,000 people, so to say, by the time you get there ain't going to be any money. And this time around, the banks they're not going to be backed by insurance. So once you lose your money in this go around, that's it. You ain't recouping no money. There's not going to be any, supplemental, banking, advice where they're going to tell you, okay, call this number and, we're going to look at your account and see what you had. That's just going to be done. It's out of here. Okay, let's continue. It says economic conditions. So these are some of the reasons why a bank will close its doors or close the branches, and at the end of it, it's all going to be dissolved so the MOTB and the digital banking process can be implemented for as what they call the start of this new world order. All right. But again, what these devils is doing and what everybody's doing, this has already been in the making for many, many years. This isn't something that just popped up on the agendas of the world banking system and the world globalists and whomever they may be. This was already in the making. All right. This is Psalm 64:8. It says, so they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right. Now, Nick Rockefeller, he never in a million years thought that Aaron Russo would get on, these videos and make comments about the conversation they had, because Nick Rockefeller probably thought that Aaron Russo, once told what the agenda was, would want to be a part of the team, if you will. All right. But what did Aaron Russo do? He fled away. He said, that's not me. I'm not that kind of guy. So he fled away. Like I said earlier, we believe ultimately this is what could have caused him to be deleted, by telling what the elite's agenda was. He didn't last too long after that. And there's several individuals that have, spoke up and blew a whistle to the agenda of the elite, and they ended up being deleted. And it's always what they said. Aaron Russo died of bladder cancer. The couple other characters that made mention of the secret agenda who have been deleted and taken out of the way. All right. So Aaron Russo was one that fled away from Nick Rockefeller. And I'm sure Nick Rockefeller caught some heat from his, higher ranking people, But hey, it's all through the Spirit of the Lord that these things have been brought out and have been made known to the men of the Lord. It's crazy to know that there are still people who are so blinded that they can't even begin to wrap their head around, Revelation 13th chapter about the MOTB. They can't even begin to wrap their head around it. Habakkuk 2:5 says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And this is what the implementation of the MOTB is going to do. It's going to gather all nations unto him, and it's going to heap all people unto him. And again, Nick Rockefeller said, the purpose and the baseline of all this was to control the world, to control the masses, shut them off whenever they felt like it. Because to the elites in the those of the secret shadow government, this is a game. This is entertainment to them. Aaron Russo said he spoke about an event that was going to take place. Now, he didn't tell him about that event, but you best believe these individuals, these elitists, were all in that area watching from different locations about that major event that had taken place, right? And it's no different now. There's going to be several major events that are going to take place, whether it be a famine, whether it be pestilence, and primarily some type of pestilence. You see? So you people don't realize this is far, far, far from over, and far from being, a place getting back to where it used to be. Those days are done. Alex Jones had dubbed it the prison planet. And that's what they're going to make this place to be. A prison for you. All right? Now, we of the hopeful elect, who are guided by the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we're not going to be concerned about what's being done and what's taking place. Shit, we warned y'all people. We told you. But as the scriptures say in Proverbs, the first chapter, you have set it not on my counsel. Meaning what? You took no heed. You paid no attention. You dismissed what the men of the Lord have been saying. You see? But this is what the move is now. To control the masses. And again, it's going to be very easy to get the people in compliance. At the start of anything, there's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of pushback, right? But once you put the chokehold on a motherfucker and start starving them out, they're going to get back in order. They're going to get right back in order, quick, fast. You see? And then what's going to happen? They're going to do what? They're going to now, be begging for help. Begging to have a little relief. This is Isaiah 14. Let me jump down to I just want to hit the main points here. Because again, as I was saying, you people, you don't realize it, but the hell that's going to be put on you and the things that you're going to experience is going to be something like you've never ever thought of or experienced before in your life. Okay? So let me jump down to Isaiah 14. I'm going to start at 4. It says, and the point is further down, it says, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. And that's the point. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Esau has laid people out, has worn them out. He's going to beat you into submission, where you people are going to be willingly lining up to take that chip. You're going to be begging them, please give me the chip, please, because you're going to be hungry. because you're going to want to be back, living again. Being hungry in a famine is no joke. It is no joke. To sit there and feel your body damn near eating itself, so to say. But this is what Esau is going to do to you. He's going to put you in that mindset where you're going to have no hope but to go to him. All right? So be ready. Understand this. We have the hope for the elect. Again, we're not really, no, I don't want to say really, we're not worried about what Esau is going to do. Now, will we be caught up in it? Absolutely. But will Yahweh Shem Shai deliver us from it, as it is written, but he shall be saved out of it? Absolutely. Lord willing, we're in that number to be delivered out of it. All right? Now, let me go here. So I typed in the hand chip technology, right? And it says, hand chip technology involves embedding a small radio frequency identification, RFID, or near field communications, NFC, chip, roughly the size of a grain of rice, into the hand using a syringe. All right? There's no other way to break this down, man. There's no other way to look at this. You had these other groups and their ideas of it being an embargo, just total madness. Sleeping with white women and you brothers been around long enough, some of the shit that they've been saying. Right? But it all adds up, man. It all adds up. And if the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai has, given you the ability to see it and understand it, there's nothing else one could say that it is. Right? Let me continue. It says, these chips store information in embedded contactless interactions like payments, unlocking doors, or logging into computers by placing the hand over the reader. You see how they're going to spin it for a little while. They're going to spin it as, this is the future. This is the new technology. This is cutting edge. Be a part of the new world. The convenience of it. That's how they're going to spin it at first. But there's going to be so much resistance. Then they're going to force you to take that thing. All right? Because it says he causeth all. So he's going to force you to take it. It's not going to be an option. It's not going to be an option where you're going to say, nah, I'll pass. I'll stick to using my cash. That's not on the table for negotiation. All right? And it says the technology offers convenience. You see that? The technology is going to offer you convenience. And this is the thing about America. America, they love convenience here. You ever drive by a Dunkin' Donuts? There'll be 30 goddamn cars lined up around the building. Lazy. Then when you look inside the joint, there's nobody in there. But it's all about convenience. You can get in your car, you can pull up, just roll your window down, you can listen to your music, place your order, drive around the building, pick up your food, and be on your way. So again, America loves convenience. And it says the technology offers convenience by replacing physical cards or keys with a permanently implanted chip. You see that? A permanently implanted chip. Now I'll speak on that because you got some jakes out here talking about, yeah, I'll just get it, but I'll just take it out. All right? You're going to be comfortable with that chip. until that grievous sore comes upon you, until all hell starts coming down upon you. You're going to be comfortable with that chip, because that chip is going to be your way of life, your way of navigating through this life. And it'll become commonplace, and next thing you know, you won't think twice about it, right? But as it says here, replacing physical cards or keys with a permanently implanted chip. There's no way around it, fellas. And for all you guys out there who don't believe that Revelation 19 is talking about the chip, then man, the Lord might have you reserved, you know. I speak as a man, but he might have you reserved to be in line to receive it. You know, I remember a few years back, that young lady had called IUIC up, and they was giving instruction. And I think IUSUPK was giving instruction to pretty much take it. You know, so that goes to tell you, you know, these shepherds ain't out there for your, you know, to watch over the flock. They're leading that flock right to the wolf. You know, anybody out there who's telling a person you can take the chip, it's, you know, you're gonna be all right, you better get the hell away from these people. You signing your damn death warrant. Continuing on, it says, though it raises privacy concerns and is not yet widely available through medical professionals. All right, so it is widely right now. They're slowly rolling it out. You know, they're gonna, you know, as the videos we've been seeing, you know, they're gonna roll it out in the form of, you know, a digital ID or a digital card, and then they're gonna tell you, well, we're gonna do away with the card. Now we're gonna just do the implant. All right. However, Esau is gonna do it. Let the Lord's will be done. All right. And again, it gives you an overview of how it works, the implementation, the function, the operation, no battery needed, application, payments, access control, identification, transportation, key technology, radio frequency identification, near field communication. All right. So these are all the things that are a part of the structure of what this chip is going to bring. All right. This is what it's going to bring. And who is he that's going to be able to resist the chip when that time comes? Save the men of the Lord. And the Lord put that spirit on us now several years back. I believe it was under the direction of Elder Apostle Ramlab that we were to make those videos concerning the time of trouble. And essentially, you know, we was breaking down that the time of trouble is going to be when they implement that, or they start implementing the RFID. Right? And that trouble is on the horizon. There's a lot of moving parts right now. Vladimir Putin, you know, he's sending jets here and there. You know, these other nations are gearing up, preparing themselves, aligning themselves. But here you have America, Babylon the Great, nothing but confusion, full of confusion over here. And we can't wait till Yahweh Shem Shai tear it down. Revelation 13, I'm going to jump right to the point for 17 for the purposes of this lesson. And it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark. All right? A lot of you Israelites just can't seem to swallow what we're telling you about this MOTB being the mark of the beast, being the device that's going to be implemented throughout the four corners of the earth. And without it, you're not going to be able to buy or sell anything. It's just that simple, man. this one particular topic, right? This radio frequency identification, this one particular topic is so mainstream, right? You mean to tell me this thing that's going on in the world has nothing to do of what's written in the scriptures? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. This is that one prophecy that has is going to grip the whole world. And you know when Edomites start talking about, the book of Revelation talks about this chip, it's reached out to the masses. Now, they don't fully understand the magnitude of what's happening, what's going on, but they got enough understanding to know that this thing that they're going to implement, this chip, is definitely written about in the scriptures. It's definitely prophesied about. All right? I'll read it from the top again. And it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right? So here we are. We're coming into another phase, if you will. And this phase is going to bring about, a chokehold upon the earth, led by the elitists of the world, told by Nick Rockefeller, revealed by Aaron Russo. That in itself right there tells you what these devils are up to and what their plan is. Because ultimately, you Israelites are going to be the ones that are truly going to suffer the worst, man. And this is why we pray Yahweh Shai keeps us in his stead and watches over us as we go and come into these perilous times. All right? So I'm going to end it on that. Lord willing, I'm going to see y'all another one. I'm going to say shalom.